Hello and Happy New Year! Sorry for taking a bit of time off from the channel, but A, I needed to recharge a little bit, and B, I wanted some time to work on a few projects that I'm hoping to share with you all pretty soon. But for today, I want to talk about Demigods. So Demigods is a tabletop RPG created by Jason Mills, and it's based on the Powered by the Apocalypse system. Personally, I'm a big fan. Demigods is a magical realism role-playing game set in the modern day. It's about myth and legend, and the players take on the role of children of gods, equipped with gifts and responsibilities, but also all the pressures and fallibilities that come with being half human. The game hasn't had a full release yet, but I've been using the QuickStart rules to run my own Demigods campaign over the past year or so. Our campaign is set in the UK and uses a lot of British, particularly Welsh, mythology, which is something I'm quite into. We've just finished Season 1 of the campaign, and honestly, I'm quite excited to get back into Season 2, but for various reasons, we're having to take a little bit of time off. So in the interim, I'm indulging my creative interests and doing a whole bunch of art related to the game. And today I want to share some portraits that I did of the four main characters. The first of our heroes is James Jimmy Citrine, and he uses the Warrior playbook. Those of you who are familiar with Powered by the Apocalypse games may understand that usually all of the heroes start out the campaign knowing each other, and Demigods is no different. In your standard game of Demigods, it's assumed that the heroes have known each other for about a year. That isn't how I chose to do my campaign. In my campaign, the heroes have been discovering their heritage as we go, and this has required a number of rule tweaks, house rules, and just making it up as I go to allow them to gather their abilities. And it's only now at the end of Season 1 that they really have all of the abilities that, in a standard campaign, they would have had from day one. Jimmy is half Indian. He's a liberal arts student at King's College London. And when we first find him, he's working a student job at a retailer in Camden. And it's here that he's embroiled in a quest to find the Spear of Destiny, also known as the Spear of Clue. Jimmy is very much the defender of the party. He's the kind of person that will jump in front of everybody else in order to protect them. Not always the smartest thing to do, but a very brave character, and he has paid the price for it on one or two occasions in our campaign. As he's grown into his abilities, he has, however, become a little sturdier and less fragile, which will hopefully serve him well in the future, and he is now the wielder of that Spear of Destiny I was talking about earlier. Jimmy's divine parent is Eronwen, and Eronwen is one of the three aspects of the Morrigan, the goddess of prophecy, war, battle, destruction. Honestly, one of my favourite goddesses, and I'm really looking forward to exploring that relationship more in Season 2. The second of our party is Lucy McGavin, She's originally from Scotland, but is studying to be a nurse at St Mary's in London. And she, quite literally, bumps into Jimmy on the fateful night when they're given this quest. Lucy is the healer of the party. Her divine parent is, and I apologise for my bad Welsh pronunciation, Clwyd Claw Erent, also known as Clwyd of the Silver Hand. Her father lost his hand in battle, and Lucy has also lost her hand as part of this quest to get the spear. And like her father, she now has a metal prosthetic. She also wields a bow and arrow, specifically the bow fail knot, which was used by Tristan of the Knights of the Round Table. She's also accompanied by a magic hound that she's called Coffee. Lucy uses the Verdant playbook. This means that she has access to powers relating to nature and life. For example, she can heal, and something that's been very useful in-game. She can summon swarms of bats or birds or insects, another talent that has been surprisingly useful. And she can shape change. However, her last attempt at shape changing into a dragon maybe didn't go as well as she might have hoped, though I blame Alexander for that one. Lucy has also attracted the interest of Merlin. What exactly that means and how that relationship is going to play out is something I have plans for going forward. Next up, we have Alexander Page. Alexander Page is significantly older than the other characters. He's in his 40s, and he used to work at a university where he specialised in comparative mythology. In particular, British mythology. And it was there that he developed what some would say was an unhealthy obsession with the Lady of the Lake. And it's that obsession that got him fired. Since leaving the university, he's been working as a London cab driver, a lost soul roaming the city streets at all hours. He's been having a hard time separating what is real from what is myth, something that's only become more complicated as it's been revealed that myth is in fact real. I've really enjoyed seeing his player grapple with this aspect of Alexander's personality. Alexander uses the arcane playbook. This means that he is the magic user of the group, and he tends to favour magic that transmutes or manipulates elements. His divine parent is Ceridwen, the sorceress of Welsh mythology. His taxicab acts as both a divine steed for the group and also Alexander's magical sanctum, the place he can retreat from the world to study. Alexander both does and doesn't want to be part of this quest, and often finds himself playing the voice of reason for the group, particularly when it comes to, shall we say, the less mature members of the party. Which brings us to Vivian Black. Vivian is the 14-year-old daughter of shipping magnate Theodore Black. She has spent most of her life in and out of hospitals, with a condition that defies diagnosis. Recently, that condition took a turn for the worse, to the point where the doctors thought they had lost her. But she made a miraculous recovery, to the point where they felt able to release her from hospital. But on the day she was supposed to go back to school, she found herself pursued across Bristol by the Wild Hunt, and in her flight made contact with our other heroes. The Wild Hunt is a feature of folklore across Europe, and typically involves a mythological figure leading a group of supernatural hunters in some kind of pursuit. In Welsh mythology, that mythological figure is Gwyn ap Nudd, although for our story, the Wild Hunt is being manipulated by another. Vivian uses the Reaper playbook. This gives her powers relating to the dead and dying. Her divine parent is Gwyn ap Nudd himself, the ruler of the Welsh realm of the dead. This, in turn, makes Vivian divine royalty. To say Vivian is impetuous would be something of an understatement, and this is why her father has surrounded her with an entourage of ghosts to protect and advise her. I've really enjoyed watching Vivian's player balance a childlike wonder with a growing sense of responsibility, all wrapped up in a ton of self-doubt. And I'm excited to see where that goes in the future. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about for now, but I'm sure we will talk about these characters and this campaign again soon. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments below, and maybe I will answer them in a future video. Take care. I hope to talk to you again soon.